Hey all, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing off a massive PS2 haul that I got recently. There's loads of PS2 games here and it's pretty much nearly doubled my collection. The way I come about this haul was that a friend of mine, he decided that he was another collector. He decided he wasn't really feeling PS2 much anymore, wanted to go more retro. So he sold me a load of games for a very good price, and there's some really great titles in here. A couple filler, but mostly absolutely excellent games, and some valuable ones too. I got a massive deal on this, and I was so happy. I told him that he could write me a little message to put in this video. So this is the message he's given me to say on the video. Sir Matthew George Foster, whom shall now be referred to in this ancient scroll as His Majesty, has honoured the peasant who is ungodly called Jamie. Throughout the reading of this ancient scroll he shall be named Slipper. His Majesty has granted the honour of merchandising his shitload of PS2 games for an outrageously low price to show pity of this rat. During the course of this text and from now on, Slipper shall always refer to Sir Matthew George Foster as His Majesty, and every time he shall be granted the honour to meet His Majesty in public, he shall bring a packet of Walker's Ready Salted Crisps, Frazzles or Space Raiders with a pint down the local shithouse. Sincerely, His Majesty. Okay, so thank you, Your Majesty, for granting me all these PS2 games, and so I'll show you the PS2 games now. Since there's so many, I won't be able to talk about a lot of them, and I've tried out every game, and I've recorded a bit of footage for each game, but there's so many that, you know, I haven't really got a good impression of most of the games yet. So, anyway, let's just get started. I've got a lot to go through. So, first off, we have Ace Combat Distant Thunder, Alien Hominid, which is made by Behemoth, the guys who made Castle Crashers, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Altered Beast, a 3D version, I don't really know how I feel about that one. Auto Modelista. Bionicle, which I used to have on the Xbox when I was a kid, and I actually enjoyed that one. It's quite a fun action game. Bloody Roar 3, which is a great fighting game where you can turn into different monsters. I remember playing demos of the first two on PS1, so I'm really happy with that. The Bouncer, a Square Enix beat 'em up type game. I played a bit of it, and I don't know, I'm not really feeling this game. It might be alright. It's got that Japanese vibe to a beat 'em up, a 3D beat 'em up, so it feels really weird. Breath of Fire, Dragon's Quarter. Cartoon Network Racing, which is great because I've been watching Powerpuff Girls a lot recently, as I love that cartoon, and yeah, that's actually quite good. It's not really a shovelware title, it's actually a pretty decent racer. Chaos Legion, a Capcom game, don't really know much else about it. DNA Dark Native Apostle, and I know this is a Hudson game, so I like some Hudson games, so that one might be pretty good. Egomania, Egomania, a puzzle game. Fahrenheit, this was the game that Quantic Dream did before they did Heavy Rain, so that's going to be pretty cool. Some of these games well, Fahrenheit is one. Some of these games I think they'll probably be a bit better on Xbox, so I might hold off to play them until I've got the Xbox versions, but they're still pretty cool to own for the PS2. Freedom Fighters is a game that my friend really likes, and I'm not sure why. He tells me it's really good, so I'm looking forward to that one. Gradius 5. The Gradius series by Konami, a classic shooter, and this one's pretty cool 3D, well, it's 2D but it's got 3D backgrounds, nice graphics, and looks like a good shooter on the PS2. Here we have Guitar Hero, the big box guitar bundle, which I didn't have. I owned the game originally, but it's now cool to have the original Guitar Hero guitar that Harmonix made all the way back when the game was first on the PS2, before it hit the Xbox 360 and, you know, went to hell. But because I'm a huge Guitar Hero fan, I'm really happy to have that one. And I didn't have this one on the PS2, but I had it on 360. It's Guitar Hero 2. Gungrave, I'm not really sure what this is. Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. I haven't played Harvest Moon game, but when I started it, it seemed okay. Hurdy-gurdy. Hitman Contracts. Jet Ion GP. Killer 7, which was one of the GameCube exclusives that Capcom was doing, which, you know, hit PS2. It's a Suda 51 game by Grasshopper, and I haven't played that one yet. That one I'm looking forward to. Killzone, The original Killzone, I haven't played any Killzone, so it'd be good to start with the first one, although I heard it's not as good as the PS3 entries. The King of Fighters 2001 and 2000 and 2001. I love the King of Fighters series, so I'm happy to have that. And then we have this big box which comes with King of Fighters Maximum Impact, which is a 3D King of Fighters game, sort of like Tekken. Sounds like it shouldn't work, but I was actually surprised when I played this that it works really well, and King of Fighters games transition quite nicely into 3D, although the 2D ones are probably, well, they are my preferred one. They're probably the better games. Klonoa 2, and I don't know how to pronounce the subtitle, Lunate's Vow. I loved the Klonoa game on the PS1. I don't currently own that, but I'm really happy to have Klonoa 2, which is a sequel that, you know, just ups the graphics and keeps the same 2.5D platforming gameplay, which is brilliant. So this is a great game. I'm really happy with this one. Legacy of Kain Defiance. I love Soul Reaver on the PS1, and I really want to tap into the Legacy of Kain series. This one you can actually play as Kain and Raziel, and it looks more of an action game than an adventure game that Soul Reaver did, but that one looks pretty cool. Legend of the Dragon is a fighting game with a kind of cel-shaded art style. It was pretty cool. Mad Maestro is a music game, and maybe I think it might have been an early release for the PS2. Yeah, I think it was released in 2002. And I love music games, so when I played this I kind of sucked at it, but I'm really looking forward to going back and checking it out. Manhunt, which is, you know, one of the most violent games ever apparently, very controversial game. And then Manhunt 2, which I actually want to get on the Wii. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I played the first Marvel vs. Capcom on Dreamcast, and this one is just a sequel. This one might be on Dreamcast, and it's on Xbox as well, I think, but that's the PS2 one. The Matrix Path of Neo. This one looks pretty interesting because I've seen the first Matrix film, and it goes through different parts of the films, and then I think it has alternate footage directed by the Wachowski brothers in it. So that one might be interesting. I don't know what the gameplay's like. MDK2 Armageddon. Don't really know much about that one. Mega Man X8, which I don't think this is a fan favourite. Micro Machines. Myst 3 XR, which comes in a big box with a little primer guide. And I don't really know much about the Myst series, to be honest. Myth Makers Orbs of Doom. This one looks a bit like a Super Monkey Ball game. That's what it felt like when I played with it, so that's pretty cool. Need for Speed Underground. And Need for Speed Underground 2. Project Zero. This is another one I want to get on Xbox. Ratchet & Clank 2, Locked and Loaded. I love the Ratchet & Clank series from what I've played, but I haven't played enough of them. I don't really own many. I think I only own probably one on the PSP, but I've played a bunch of the other ones. Glad to have the second one. That's the only one I have on PS2. I've got to get those. RC Revenge Pro, and the only thing of note for this game is that it's one of the only European games which doesn't have a white label. There's a couple like that, and they really stand out on the shelf. Red Faction 2. Here's a hidden gem. The Red Star. Looking at the cover, this looked really weird, just like some Russian action game. I thought it'd be kind of crap, but then playing it, it was a lot of fun. A really great action game. I definitely recommend you check it out if you haven't played that. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would. Samurai Showdown 5. Seek and Destroy, a kind of tank game. Cartoony tank game. And here we have the one that I was really looking forward to the most out of this whole lot, and that's Shadow Hearts, and it's complete with the little strategy guide. And the reason I was looking forward to this, I know this is quite a valuable game, especially with the strategy guide. And I recently finished playing Kudelka and absolutely loved it. And no one really talks about Kudelka, but everyone talks about Shadow Hearts. So since that's the series that everyone talks about, because this is slightly linked to Kudelka, but is really its own thing. But since everyone talks about Shadow Hearts, this must be the better game, the better series. And since I love Kudelka, I really think I'm going to love Shadow Hearts. So I'm glad I can now move on, and now I've got to get the other Shadow Hearts games on the PS2. This one looks really great. I'm really looking forward to it. Silent Hill Origins on the PS2. I played this on the PSP and reviewed it. Really great game. But in that review I said apparently the PS2 version isn't as good. I couldn't really find so many faults with it. What you will notice is that it doesn't look as good as the other PS2 Silent Hills, because it is a port of a PSP game which is less powerful than the PS2, and they didn't really put in the effort to make it look as good as the earlier PS2 entries. But there wasn't really that much wrong with it. It's still a good game on the PS2. And then Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which I'm pretty sure is a reimagining of the original Silent Hill. This is another one I want to get on the Wii though. Sly Raccoon, I have not really got into the Sly series, and it looks like a series I'd love, so I'm happy to have that. And Sly 2 Band of Thieves. Smuggler's Run. A big box version of SOCOM US Navy SEALs. I originally owned the normal version. This one comes with a headset. Soldier of Fortune Gold Edition. I don't know what's really gold about it, but I guess this must have been a port of an earlier game. Space Invaders Anniversary, which is just different versions of the original Space Invaders. Pretty cool. Speed Challenge. These are some games I want to get on Xbox. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory and Splinter Cell Pandora's Tomorrow. Spyro A Hero's Tale, which I played and really enjoyed this Spyro game. It's not as good as the PS1 ones. It's a bit better than the Dragonfly, and playing as these 4 characters are fun. It's a pretty good Spyro game that's not made by Insomniac. Star Wars Battlefront. Here we have State of Emergency, and I'd heard about this game before. I heard it was a Rockstar game, and it also got some controversy because it was really violent. But I really liked this game when I played it. It's kind of like Crazy Taxi. It's got that arcade feel to it, where you just got to run around doing objectives. But instead of driving people from point A to point B, you just got to go around killing people and smashing stuff and causing havoc. It was a lot of fun. And then I also got State of Emergency 2, which I'm pretty sure isn't developed by or has any affiliation with Rockstar, and it's more story driven, not as good. Time Splitters 2. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, which looks like a pretty fun mascot platforming game. And Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2 Bush Rescue. Only a few more now. We have Unreal Tournament. Ultimate Spider-Man, which is a fantastic Spider-Man game. I used to play this a lot. Great comic book art style and great comic book humour. This is one of the best Spider-Man games and probably one of the best comic book games. Fantastic, you've got to check this out. You play as Venom, really great game, love that one. V-Rally 3, which I hear is good. XG3 Extreme G Racing, it's quite a mouthful. Worms Blast, I was interested in this one because this is a Worms game which is also a puzzle game. It's a more like a bust and move type game, but with the worms in, so you know, 2 worlds coming into one. Absolutely great. It's still made by Team 17 though, so that's a pretty good one. This one's cool, but I'm a little mad at this one. Xenosaga Episode 2, and for those Americans, if you don't know, we only got Episode 2. This comes with a bonus disc, which I'm pretty sure has the Episode 1 cutscenes in it, so you can catch up on the story. But you know, that's no fun. I'd really like to play through the first Xenosaga game to get the story, and then we didn't get the 3rd one either. We only got the 2nd one here in Europe, which is stupid because you can't have the beginning of the story or the end. You've got to jump right in the middle, not see how it starts, not see how it ends, which really bugs me. So even though I'm looking forward to playing through this, because it's made by Monolith Soft, I think, published by Namco, developed by Monolith Soft, who did Xenoblade. So I should love this, but I'm not going to play it until I've got a way to play American PS2 games and imported the 1st and 3rd one. And then lastly, another hidden gem is Zappa. Looking at the cover, I thought this might be a crappy kids game, but it's actually a fun puzzle action game. It's pretty good, and I'd recommend you check it out. It's cheap, it's quite a good game. So that wraps up this massive PS2 haul that I got. Loads of games here, and I've pretty much... This is now my biggest game collection, the PS2. I've got over 100 PS2 games now, adding these to my other games that I've got. So yeah, really happy with this PS2 haul, and I've got loads of games for a great price. Yeah, thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.